ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
We are definitely seeing a lot of crowds come in. I would say the majority of them are not wearing masks.
A concerning sight along our coast as large crowds flock to the beaches ahead of the 4th of July. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena. Steve Atkinson has the night off. This weekend will be a big test as the county continues to see a surge in coronavirus cases. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Okala shows us how things are going so far.
This is a beautiful day to be here.
When you look at San Diego beaches, it's hard to believe we're still in the middle of a pandemic. From Mission Beach to Oceanside, the busy 4th of July weekend San Diego has been bracing for is officially here. Despite the rise in COVID-19 cases, beaches are packed with visitors and locals enjoying their time in the sun. While state beach parking lots in San Diego were ordered to close by Governor Newsom, the city of Oceanside wanted to take COVID-19 safety a step further, voluntarily shutting down its own beach parking, all in an effort to minimize overcrowding, promote social distancing, and slow the spread of COVID-19. But the beach is still busy, and businesses that took a hit during the pandemic are grateful for that.
We're double gloved, we're masked, we take every precaution, so everything is good, prepackaged, and good to go. So if you like acai fruit, it's from acai roots.
Nancy with West Coast Polar Ice is definitely enjoying the busy day.
We're looking forward to a real prosperous summer. This is my day one back. If you're active like me, you like to be out and about, and you're just really happy to be here at the beach today.
While many people are happy to be out, not everyone is following the county's public health order. Some had on masks when required and others did not. Oceanside Police has upped its staff along the beaches for the weekend, but if they do witness violations to the facial covering and social distancing requirements, they're focusing more on education rather than enforcement. As a reminder, under the public health order, all restaurants must close by 10 p.m. and indoor bars, wineries, and breweries that don't serve food shouldn't be open at all.
You guys come on down, have an Italian ice.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
For those of you heading to the beaches this weekend, be prepared for high surf and some dangerous rip currents. ABC 10 News weathercaster Jennifer De La Cruz is in for Angelica. And Jen, it looks like it's going to be another warm weekend.
It is going to be a warm one. We're going to get warmer each day through Sunday, but overall, tons of sunshine out there. We didn't have to deal with that marine layer very much today on the coast. Nothing but blue skies and very tempting conditions out there, which is why a ton of people have flocked to our beaches. All of the cameras that we've been showing you throughout the newscast from North County all the way down to Coronado, tons of people at the beaches, and it is really nice out there. Here it is in Del Mar, current conditions. Absolutely gorgeous, not a ton of cloud coverage, waves rolling in, and a lot of people enjoying their day. But we do have that beach hazard statement. That's going to be in place through Monday morning. It will be peaking tomorrow and Sunday when the majority of people will be heading to the coastline. Surf's going to be between 4 to 6 feet, and there is an increased risk for rip currents. If you're not an experienced surfer or swimmer, make sure you're hanging out near a lifeguard. Into our inland valleys as well. It is really nice today throughout the county. Poway, really beautiful conditions, not a cloud in the sky, nothing but blue skies out there. So beautiful out for our 4th of July holiday. Current temperature is 73 degrees, I should say, in San Diego. A little bit cooler for La Jolla, 68 degrees there. Low to mid 70s for Oceanside and Carlsbad. Inland valleys, a little bit warmer than where we were at this time yesterday. 86 in Escondido, 87 for Ramona, 84 right now in El Cajon. Chula Vista, you're at 77 degrees. Looking over from Coronado into the Big Bay, beautiful conditions out there. Tomorrow's going to be nice as well. I'm tracking the rest of the weekend in your 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Jen. And here are the latest numbers for San Diego County. 489 new cases were reported today, bringing the total to 15,696. And there were 10 new deaths for a total of 387. It could not have been a more picture-perfect day to kick off 4th of July weekend in San Diego. And while the beaches and bays were crowded, ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains that the hotels and campgrounds weren't like in years past.
Wouldn't trade it in for any other place to stay in the summer.
Marty Coyne snags the same prime spot at Campland on the Bay every 4th of July weekend. He parks his massive RV right across from the water.
You know, it's beautiful here, it's safe here, grandkids can run free and have a great time.
This year, however, the celebration is quite a bit different due to the outbreak of COVID-19. The campground, like many hotels along our coastline, is not totally booked. And while the mood was still festive, the activities were limited. The skate park and basketball courts taped off. No bans for outdoor entertainment, and indoor dining disallowed. Campland on the Bay did a couple of things different this year because of COVID. First, you can see those yellow cones back there. Those give people a clear path down to the water. Also, the tents, they have to be spaced out by at least 8 feet. The campground is also requiring masks in public areas, even supplying rangers with extra. But not all visitors were wearing them.
Social distancing all over. Management is very strong on it. Management really makes them sign. They encourage it. They stop people from doing the wrong thing. Everybody doesn't follow it. It's always a problem everywhere in the world for lots of reasons.
San Diego hotels and Campland on the Bay still open to last-minute reservations.
We anticipate it's going to be like this, no more than this today and tomorrow, and it'll go down to quiet as people go back to their normal lives.
Normal taking on a whole new meaning. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
The Auto Club says residents of the Pacific coastal states will take 107 million trips this summer. That's a 17% drop-off from last year. Another main concern is local business this weekend. San Diego County was placed on the state's monitoring list this afternoon, which could lead to closures or new restrictions starting Monday. As ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano explains, this uncertainty is taking a financial and emotional toll for local restaurant owners.
Open, close, open, close. We're not talking about a revolving door. We're talking about the state's rules on indoor dining.
It's devastating, thinking that we might have to close again.
You can see the worry in Charlie's family restaurant owner Susan Malika's face.
I haven't slept in 2 nights.
When the quarantine began in mid-March, the 28-year-old Escondido diner had to shut its doors. They tried takeout, but it just wasn't for them. Then came the good news on May 21st. With new cleaning and social distancing protocols in place, they reopened, and their loyal regulars came back.
The food is great, the prices are great, the atmosphere is great.
It's like a family here.
We're worried a lot of them might forget about us after we were closed for 2.5 months. So they've been just wonderful. They're glad to be back to some sort of normalcy.
But that normalcy didn't last too long for diners in 19 California counties. On July 1st, the governor declared that every restaurant in counties surrounding San Diego had to again stop indoor dining. So far, San Diego is clear from that list, but Malika is worried we're next.
If restaurants are following every single protocol, they shouldn't be penalized.
Compared to their large dining hall and banquet room, Charlie's only has 4 outdoor tables, not nearly enough capacity for the beloved family diner to muscle through another forced shutdown.
I keep saying it's the Twilight Zone because it's just unbelievable.
Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
Now, the owner hopes everyone follows the state's guidelines so San Diego County can stay off that watch list, but as we told you, it is on. She says the goal is not just for them, but for all local restaurants to keep their businesses afloat. Well, singing and chanting are no longer allowed in California places of worship. The state's Department of Public Health announced the order Wednesday. It says singing increases the likelihood for transmission of COVID-contaminated droplets. Just one infected singer spread coronavirus to 87% of their choir in Washington. In-person services in California are allowed to continue if safety protocols are in place. Well, this weekend could determine the trajectory for the outbreak for the entire country. Health officials are desperately urging people to be careful during 4th of July celebrations. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, the CDC predicts up to 160,000 people could die from COVID by July 25th.
4th of July is usually celebrated with barbecues, beaches, and fireworks alongside family and friends, but this year will look pretty different for many Americans as the deadly coronavirus continues to ravage our country.
And we're setting records practically every day of new cases in the numbers that are reported. That clearly is not the right direction.
With cases on the rise in 35 states and hospitalizations up in 26, officials are urging people to be vigilant this holiday weekend to contain the virus. In Arizona, ICUs are 89% full. Hospitals there and in San Antonio, Texas, now using pediatric ICUs for adults as they run out of beds. A mask mandate now in effect in South Carolina as local officials link multiple outbreaks to tourist hotspot Myrtle Beach.
This is a Category 6 hurricane of illness. We can't evacuate. We need to stay in place.
In Missouri, healthcare workers on the front lines especially concerned about the next few days after places like Lake of the Ozarks drew huge crowds like these over Memorial Day.
It makes me really nervous. I know after the 4th that we could potentially see another surge after the Memorial Day weekend. Our increase happened so quickly that it was just overwhelming.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott making masks mandatory statewide despite weeks of hesitation. Some beaches in California and Florida are closed for the weekend. Florida seeing staggering new numbers today, now with more than 178,000 reported cases. Miami with a 20% rate of positivity.
If we don't reduce the infection rate in the community, several weeks from now, we're going to be underwater.
A new COVID-19 survey shows nearly half of Americans are extremely concerned their communities reopen too soon. At least 19 states have now reversed or paused their reopening plans, imposing strict new rules. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Scientists are learning more about different variants of the coronavirus and how each one affects people. A new study from researchers at Northwestern have found 3 main variants in their patients in the Chicago area. One is the kind of COVID-19 most tied to the outbreak in New York. Patients with that variation seem to have a lot more of the virus in their lungs. Researchers think that means it could spread more easily. The results of this study are yet to be peer-reviewed. We're monitoring some breaking news in San Bernardino County, where CAL FIRE crews are battling this growing brush fire. These are some live pictures of the firefight. It's just southwest of Running Springs. CAL FIRE tweeted in the last 30 minutes that the fire was at least 50 acres. Right now, no structures are being threatened. One of the officers involved in the death of a young black man in Colorado has been fired. Elijah McClain died in police custody last year after being stopped while returning home from a store. Recently, 3 officers took a picture at McClain's memorial site pretending to do the carotid restraint used on McClain. 2 were fired, 1 resigned. The picture was sent to one of the officers involved in the McClain incident. He responded saying, "Ha ha." He's now being fired as well. The police chief says the department is sickened and angry over the photo. The police union says the firings were a rush to judgment.